Good morning, everyone, and welcome. This is Joe Scarice, nationwide direct private lender, licensed real estate agent, and co host and co founder of the Creative Birth Strategies podcast and house here on Clubhouse every first and third Sunday morning of the month. Let's get started here, invite some people in, and get things rocking and rolling. What a great last couple of weeks since the last podcast that we had. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I just want to get some people invited in here. I'm searching out some people here, taking a minute. It's taking a second as well. But welcome back to another great session of the Creative Birth Strategy podcast. Really excited about the discussion where we focus building wealth through real estate. We creative finance and strategic relationships. Before we jump into today's topic, which is from 0 to 10 doors, what actually works today, let's talk about what really is happening in the market, which is important. We really want to get into that, not the homeowner's perspective, not from the media's perspective, but from the investor's perspective. Because every successful real estate investor learns something that most people never do. Every market creates opportunities. The question is whether you're trained to recognize them. For years, investors were competing against dozens of buyers, waiving inspections, overpaying for properties, and hoping appreciation would bail them out. Today's market is a little different. And for prepared investors, different can be very profitable. Investors who are regaining negotiating power, inventory is rising, days on the market are increasing, and price reductions are becoming more common. Many sellers are no longer receiving multiple offers within hours. Most people hear that and think the market is slowing down. Investors hear that and think negotiators coming back because wealth isn't created when it's easy to buy. Its wealth is created when you can buy right. So let me just invite some more people in here. Just a few more minutes. Just give me a little patience. My thumbs are not working as quick as they should be. Just kind of getting everybody invited in here. All right, I think we're good here. All righty. So where were we? The markets. So the higher rates are separating investors from consumers. Consumers are looking at 6.5% interest rates and ask, when will rates come down? Investors ask, how can I structure the deal differently? Higher rates have created a new level of motivation among sellers. Some can't sell. Some don't want to give up their low rate mortgages. Some need solutions more than they need top dollar. That's where creative investors step in, subject to seller financing, lease options, partnerships, private lending, wrap mortgages. The best investors don't just buy properties, they solve problems. And when you solve enough problems, the deals follow. Motivation is returning to the marketplace. We're not seeing a foreclosure crisis. We're seeing we're not even seeing a housing collapse. What we're seeing is something investors often prefer: motivation, tired landlords, burnt out investors, inherited properties, life events, divorces, relocations, deferred maintenance, financial pressure. Every motivated seller represents a problem waiting for a solution, and every solution can become a deal. Who needs my help today? Well, because opportunities rarely show up wearing a name tag that says great deal. They usually arrive disguised as someone's challenge. The biggest opportunity is the gap between action and inaction. Right now, many people are waiting for rates, waiting for elections, waiting for prices, waiting for certainty. But real estate has never rewarded people for waiting on certainty. It rewards people for acting on opportunities. The investors who build wealth over the next 5 years will most likely be the ones buying during uncertainty while everyone else is watching headlines. Remember, you don't need perfect conditions. You need profitable conditions. And those are two very different things. Relationships are becoming more valuable than capital. One of the biggest mistakes new investors make is believing they need money before they can start. In today's market, relationships are often more valuable than cash. The investors growing the fastest are leveraging private money, strategic partnerships, agent relationships, contractor relationships, wholesaler relationships, property management relationships, community relationships. Deal flow through people, capital flows through trust, and portfolios grow through relationships. The investor who builds the strongest network often outperforms the investor with the largest bank account. The investor mindset for 2026, the old mindset, I need money to buy real estate. The investor mindset says, I need solutions relationships, and opportunities. The old mindset says the market is difficult. The investor mindset says, where is the opportunity in this market? The old mindset waits. The investor mindset adapts because market changes, strategy changes, interest rate changes. But one thing that never changes is real estate rewards problem solvers. Which brings us to the subject today that we're discussing. From 0 to 10 doors, what actually works today? If someone started today with 0 doors, limited cash, limited experience, a willingness to learn, a commitment to take action, what would be the fastest, safest, and more repeatable path to building a 10 door portfolio? Not theory, not social media hype, not what worked 4 years ago, what works in today's market. Because despite everything happening around us, opportunities are everywhere for investors who are willing to think differently. Let's get into it. Oh, we got a couple moderators up here. Mr. Yardell Perkins, our co-founder and co-host of the podcast and colleague and friend for the last decade. Yardell, good morning and welcome. Brief thoughts to our discussion today. From 0 to 10 doors, what actually works today? In a lot of development stage right now, and I don't know if a lot of you we're having communication about it, but we're trying to be live on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube at the same time, and then we obviously load it into Buzzsprout, which goes into Spotify, and all that area of like Audible, Amazon. Yeah, so we're really working on different things right now and trying to enhance um, just the physical presence to the podcast itself. We've hit 20,000 downloads. We have all the podcasts loaded into our website now. We're up to date there. We're now going toward AI video. We're going to be installing that and implementing that now that we got Go High Level set up correctly with the text messaging campaigning, and we're going to be enhancing that. I'm doing a lot more video work, a lot more newsletters, getting myself more in front of there. For a lot of people that don't know, I just accepted on May 1st, Senior Vice President of Business Development for Built Lending. We are a true warehouse line where it's our money on bridge and DSCR. I'm very excited about this opportunity. There's ownership opportunities as well for myself, and a lot of incentives in building out a team and brand. Very unique opportunity. I'm literally traveling every week, which is I enjoy it. I get to bring the wife every once in a while, which is a lot of fun. But I'll be seeing Mr. Felix down in Baltimore on Tuesday night. I'm going to surprise him at the Timbuktu restaurant. But yeah, I mean, I'm out there meeting people and talking about having deeper discussions about how to scale. I had a luncheon with a young man, 27 years old, has 80 doors, 80 doors, single family through four family, and he's building out infrastructure, he's building out systems, he's building out his team. He has liquidity. He does the burst strategy. He doesn't do heavy rehabs. He does the light to medium. His biggest dilemma is identifying the right inventory and avoiding bad wholesalers. That is what the consensus of our discussion was. So I'm trying to put him in touch or in front of better quality real estate professionals to help him expand his real estate team. He's a young man, but he's at 80 doors. He's done it himself. He had a business partner initially, took him out of the equation, and is now growing that portfolio out even more, defining what he's doing from a maintenance perspective, has a full-time employee working for him. He's building it out correctly because he's ready to be at 160 doors. So his mindset is he's going to keep scaling. It's just a matter of identifying the right inventory in the market. The inventory is the catch. And I think a lot of people feel it's about money, it's about credit, it's about inventory, the right inventory. Now, obviously, you should have stellar credit, no questions asked, but you need to have liquidity too. I personally think the whole, hey, get into a property with no out of pocket money is numerically impossible over. I mean, that's just my personal opinion because I'm in the lending space. Everybody needs to have skin in the game. So you either need a potentially a cash partner initially, a credit partner initially, get ownership in a deal, get that experience level because I'm telling you, that is going to be the difference being at 0 or 10 doors in the next 5 years. That's the game plan. That's how you have to look at this. We're going to go ladies first, of course. Melissa, it's been a quick minute. Brief overview, who you are, what you do, and thoughts to our discussion this morning from 0 to 10 doors, what actually works today.
Hey, good morning, Clubhouse. I am Melissa King, founder of Busy Bee Virtual Solutions and Care Bee Virtual Support Services. We are remote business and office systems and expert QuickBooks bookkeepers. That's hard to say 3 times.
Wow.
Just that smart.
Do that backwards.
Yeah, I'm also a state of Michigan notary and licensed real estate referral agent, as well as a national certified guardian. Look, I've been supporting real estate investors and business owners remotely for over 16 years through bookkeeping, business, and office operations management. And yes, I've even done their personal books and some back office support there. Interesting, right? Through my businesses, I've had the opportunity to work alongside investors at many different stages of their journey. And Yardell, I'm with you. I don't have any doors yet. I've been in analysis paralysis for much too long. So you are not alone. I know many people like that. I've spent years helping others build and manage their businesses and invest. Now I'm focused on growing more passive income and long-term wealth while continuing to grow my current businesses. So yes, I'm excited to hear what's actually working in today's market. And I see Linda and Felix up on stage. So I know they're going to be giving us some good information. And I'm going to land on this. Remember, it's your documents, your digits, and your decisions. Turn your chaos into clarity. Organize today, protect tomorrow. Please. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa, as always. And yes, this young man that I sat with for lunch on Friday, because we're going to we're actually going to create a revolving construction line of credit for him. So he doesn't have liquidity concerns. And we're going to probably go 100% on purchase and construction, as long as he stays under 70% loan to value on ARV. And we're just going to just keep turning them over because he's proven his track record, you know? But he's got a great bookkeeping service in place too, as well. I couldn't believe it. He's got a bookkeeping service. He's got a good CPA. He's got his attorneys. He's got eviction attorneys. He's building out his team.
And that's what you need, really, right?
He's spending money. Like he's going to convert this. He's in a kind of a different type of software. He's going to move it toward Buildium because he's hitting close to 100 doors. The software's not really acclimated to grow that out.
That's an excellent. Will be able to handle that type of inventory that he's looking for. I mean, I've started from small to the big ones. I've used AppFolio, Buildium. I've got one guy who's got a couple of multi-units that uses the Zillow rental. So I'm in all of it.
I get it. So yeah, it was nice to sit down with somebody, and it's funny. I go, so how many events do you go to identify opportunities? He goes, I don't. I just keep calling real estate agents and building out my relationships with them. He goes, I have found most of these investor group meetings not to be worth his time to grow his business out. So it's really interesting because it's working for him. It's working for him, and I'm not going to tell me that he's wrong because I mean I went to an investor group meeting yesterday, and to be honest with you, I fell asleep. It was terrible. It was terrible. The guy's like, "Wow, you were here later than usual." I'm like, "Well, I fell asleep in the back." They just kept dragging out the same. Yeah.
I like his real estate line because I was thinking that just this past week. I'm like, you need to just get with a couple of local real estate people besides pushing my businesses locally, as I think it's Steph J said a long time ago, go local and then build out. That's where I'm focusing right now. So I've also got a couple of 2 parcels locally that I'm going to go check out property at the assessment office because there's a high need for multi-use in Main Street in my particular area. So I am focusing, and I did get an email from NP Capital, so I appreciate that.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I'm going to tie in from 0 to 10 doors what actually works today and mastering your real estate networking skills. So to use this young gentleman as an example, he's focusing on getting more real estate agents in his coffers. He wants more people calling him with opportunities and providing him deals directly, right? And mastering those real estate networking skills is about developing relationships that unlock those opportunities and finding deals, securing financing, identifying reliable contractors, and learning from experienced investors and gaining access to off-market opportunities. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of these investor group meetings, yeah, there's some off-market opportunities, but you really want to identify the real estate professionals there. They're the ones that are seeing the deals that are falling apart. Seeing the deals that are coming together. They understand the piece of their pie and what they could bring to the table. And I think the journey from 0 to 10 doors isn't just about finding properties. It's about building relationships in today's market. Opportunities often come through people before they appear on the MLS. The stronger your network, the more deals you'll see, the more resources you'll have, and the faster you'll grow. Networking isn't a separate real estate skill. It's a multiplier that makes every investing strategy more effective. Good morning, Linda. Welcome. Brief overview, who you are, what you do, and thoughts to the discussion this morning from 0 to 10 doors, what actually works today.
Good morning, Joseph. Good morning, Melissa, and all the investors on the call. Great to be here this morning. My name is Linda Pliagas, and I'm the owner of Realty 411. We are an investor news website, and we produce magazines, webinars, podcasts, and in-person events, all in an effort to help investors on their journey towards success. And I have gone from 0 to 25 doors. And I can tell you that the most important aspect is feeling comes down to leverage, plus adding value, which will form. Now, let's the area you ran has appreciated too much, and perhaps you're not able to afford that area, or you can't buy, or you can't find a deal in that area anymore. Well, no worries. You can expand your outreach and look for these markets.
I thought what is, what is the perfect opportunity? What is this? Hang on one second. There you go. Just move somebody to the audience. Sorry about that. So my thoughts this morning on burst strategy, which ties into what you're saying, is hang on one second here. I'm just trying to it's acting very strange today. There's Bob Cheswick. Oh, there he's back. Make a moderator. And make Travis a moderator. So there we go. My thoughts to what you're saying, Linda, is the burst strategy, right? Which is our namesake. I personally think that if you stick to light to medium rehabs, under 50% of the rehab cost based on the purchase price, your success rate to scale to 10 properties is more likely. If you're trying to take on these heavy lopsided rehabs, you're going to get slowed down, bogged down. The cost is going to be heavy. The carrying costs are going to get too much for you. Meaning, if you're buying something for 100 and putting 100 grand into it, the likelihood of failure is much higher than buying something for 100 and putting 50 into it, and your ARV is more attainable on the back end. And I think people don't realize the most important number in the equation of a burst strategy is not what you're buying it at, it's the ARV in the deal. Your repair numbers ties back to what you're buying it at. Now in California, that's a whole different landscape there. I mean, because most numbers don't work in California right now at all. That's my concern, because the flippers are even not making money there right now. So your additional thoughts to that, Linda?
Yes, well, I do know flippers that are still active in the California market. They're not really doing the buy, rehab, and hold by renting it out. Most of them are, just buying, rehabbing, and selling for profit.
Mhm.
But yes, I do know rehabbers that are very much still active in the game, and they're still, doing the burst strategy. They may not be renting it out. They will be selling it for profit and going on to their next deal. And maybe right now we're seeing, profit, seeing the high margin.
I that's where right now, with the more experienced borrowers, we're creating a program, not today, probably within the next, say, 30 days. We're putting together a program for a revolving construction line of credit for more the active borrowers, somebody that shows a track record of 5+ deals completed, owned, maintained. We're going to give them that benefit. We're going to reward them with a ongoing line where all we're really doing is updating maybe a bank statement. We do an initial soft pull, we do an initial background check. As long as the ARV keeps coming back, we're gonna structure it to be 100% financing, and I think that's important. For the newbie, you're gonna have about 10 to 15% into the deal initially, the first couple deals. You got to get your feet wet. You know what I mean? Like nobody's gonna give you 100% of something, rightfully so, knowing you don't have the experience level to get something completed. And credit needs to be there. To me, I like to see a 660 credit score or better. If I'm going to do this revolving construction line of credit, unless there's circumstances to the credit, I really want to see a 700 score or better, just because I know that the exit strategy is there. Because you got to remember, when we're doing a construction line of credit, we're not worried about seasoning. We're going to start the refinance, have it redone in 91 days. Like this gentleman that I met for lunch on Friday, he's completing most of his projects in 60 to 90 days, stabilizing, renting, and it's in his portfolio. So he's doing a 90-day platform. If he knows that he can't get the project done within 90 days, he's most likely going to take a pass on the deal, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to what he's doing, because he wants to get to 100+ doors. He's at 80. He knows how it works. Felix, good morning and welcome. Brief overview: who you are, what you do, and the thoughts to from 0 to 10 doors, what actually works today. Felix, are you there? Viv's going once. There you go.
Felix Buchanan Enterprises, Felix Group, Grand Rising, every.
Well, you make money when you buy. No, I get it. You make money when you buy, but you make money when you buy it based on a good ARV. Yeah.
Right.
Always love it. How are you? Am I going to see you Tuesday at the Timbuktu?
Yeah. So, you talk-
So glad I put that relationship together for you guys.
Yes.
You know,
Thank you very much.
by the way, Baltimore is easing up a little bit from the underwriting perspective. Philly is easing up a little bit as well. They might cut back LTV on leverage. You know, if you were going to get 75%, you might get 70. That's what we're looking at, 5% retraction. So that's a little something to keep in mind. One and tying in what you're talking about, one of the biggest misconceptions in real estate investing is the low to medium level rehabs. Many investors are attracted to heavy renovations because they appear to offer biggest upside, but they often come with the greatest risk. Unexpected costs, permit issues, contractor delays, extended holding times. These challenges can quickly erode profits and stall your momentum. And like in a Baltimore market, those houses are big. So like if you take on a large rehab as a newbie, you potentially could fail. And that's where the failure rate is. The most successful Burr investors often focus on properties that need cosmetic updates, deferred maintenance, or moderate improvements rather than complete gut renovations. These projects are easier to budget, quicker to complete, faster to refinance, allow you to recycle your capital more efficiently. And the goal isn't to create most beautiful property in the neighborhood. It's to create really enough value to achieve strong cash flow and successful refinance. Felix, any additional thoughts before we keep moving?
Yes, yes. Because the what you said just now is question. Everybody looks at full.
It's your team of experts is so important. I think, your ability to grow we're talking about growing from 0 to 10 doors. We're not talking about one rehab. Your 0 to 10 door concept depends on the strength of your team you build around you. Whether you're executing burst strategy or pursuing any other investment approach, if you're buying turnkey, your network still becomes your competitive advantage. Realtors that help uncover opportunities, lenders providing financing solutions. Why do you think I've maneuvered since Lendmark shut down its operations to the right platform? Because the right platform is going to be so important for the long term haul, and that's why I'm at where I'm at now. And I want to let everybody know the third Sunday coming up in this month, we are bringing the underwriting department and processing department of Built Lending onto the podcast. So you're going to get to meet everybody that's part of my team at the company, which is very unique. I'm bringing everybody to the front line. Nobody's hidden in the agenda, which I'm very excited about. We're going to have Valia Fisher and Terrence Taylor on as well. It's going to be a lot of excitement. Really, we're going to dive into the secret sauce of Burr strategy and fixing and flipping. And they're going to tell you exactly what is funding and what is not. I mean, I'm telling you, but getting it from somebody that's working in the back end operations is going to be so important. Bob, good morning and welcome. Brief overview, who you are, what you do, and thoughts to our discussion from 0 to 10 doors, what actually works today. Bob Chesak.
Hey, good morning, Joe. Sorry, I haven't.
Yep. always, I've known Bob now over what, 16 years now? It's been long, tumultuous, a long relationship going many, many years. So I'm going to say something. I want you to give your additional thoughts before we get to Travis. As investors move from their first property toward a portfolio of 10 doors, they must shift their mindset from buying real estate to building a real estate business. That's where LLCs become important. While an LLC won't find deals, increase cash flow, or make a bad investment profitable, it can provide liability protection, simplify bookkeeping, create a professional image with lenders and partners, and establish a framework for future growth. Where LLCs fit in the journey, 0 to 1 doors, they focus more on the education, the networking, deal analysis. 2 to 4 doors, you start begin thinking about asset protection, accounting systems. When you get to 5 to 10 doors, the portfolio is becoming a business. LLCs can help with risk management, partnerships, succession planning, and long-term scalability. Bob, some additional thoughts to that.
First of all, story.
Always, yeah. I mean, listen, before you need to talk with a transactionally active a lender that understands the structure of an LLC. It is so important in asset-based lending how to structure the operating agreement and what that income impact looks like. Okay. I'm constantly having deeper discussions with clients and how they're structuring the LLC for the betterment of their loan, whether it's DSCR, fixed to rent, fixed to flip. Maybe it's a credit related thing. Maybe it's an experience related thing. Maybe it's a liquidity related thing. But there's a reason why we have these deeper discussions in structuring the LLC. There's plenty of lenders on this clubhouse, plenty of lenders outside. But are they talking to you about how to structure the LLC for the betterment of the deal, of the structure of the deal itself, and what that impact looks like? Very important, more important than ever before. Travis, long time no see. Good morning and welcome. Brief overview who you are, what you do, and thoughts to from 0 to 10 doors, what actually works today. It's been a minute.
You know, I'm Travis, real estate.
It's interesting. We really had. I was there for about 2 hours talking to him, and he started off with a certain portion of liquidity that I think he got some inheritance money, and then he built that himself from some endeavors that he did, and he's been using the same money over and over again, and sticking to the model of low to medium rehabs. He's not doing heavy rehabs. If it's anything above cosmetic and just updating, he stays away from it. He wants to stay very much under the radar, and he just keeps turning them over. He's kept 3 relationships with actually brokers that he likes, and he's looking to get a construction, like an ongoing construction line of credit where it moves quicker. And he doesn't want to do heavy rehabs. He wants to be leased and ready in 91 days. And I didn't even tell him that, Travis. I didn't even tell him that's the magic number. I just sat there and listened. And I'm like, wait a minute, who told you? Who taught you this? He goes, no. He goes, because the cost of my money starts really costing and digging into my profitability past 90 days on any loan. And I'm like, okay, so you're telling me if the project takes more than 60 days to stabilize, you're not interested in it. He goes, absolutely. I'm not interested in touching that property, because now I'm stuck in that deal where I might not be able to do that second or third deal. He goes, I want to grow 5 to 10 deals a year. He goes, I'm not trying to close 1 or 2 deals a year, or the first deal. He goes, I just bought a maintenance truck. I hired a full-time maintenance person. I hired a full-time person to work in my office. I have an office. I'm moving my software to Buildium. He goes, I want to get to 100 plus stores, because that's where true profitability is when you're self-managing. I mean, the guy was saying all the right things. I'm like, who has taught you this? He goes, no, this is stuff that I just picked up as I went. And I'm like, this is absolutely, and he stays away from all the RIAs. He only goes to the RIA event. I met him just coincidentally. He was looking for some roofers. He was looking for some general contractors, like building out his team of experts. He doesn't go there for the subject matter. He's there just to build that team. Yeah. And he stays to himself. His network is all the real estate agents. He's also staying away from wholesalers right now, because he feels like they're gouging, which I can't disagree. Wholesaling used to be nice. You make 5 to 10 grand and then you move on. But
Yeah.
now these guys are making 50, 60, 70 grand per wholesale deal. And to be honest with you, he's he's much happier just finding the deals off the MLS or the realtors calling him about a deal before it gets listed. And that's where in my mindset, he's doing the British Bulldog approach. He's doing smaller, sleeker, quicker deals instead of these Spanish Armada bulky deals where it starts digging into profitability.
So his LTV is what, 70%?
Funny enough, his average leverage property that he owns currently is under 60% on average. Does he go up to
seven rehab?
Well, he's refinancing up to 70%. If he's at break even, he doesn't even care about getting money back because he's getting all his money's out at 70%, if worst case. And then what's happened is a lot of the properties he bought like 3-4 years ago, they've become very equity driven, and now he's at 45 to 60% on those properties. So
Yeah,
he's
okay. That's
is Claude a carnivore? Is Claude a carnivore by any chance? I think Claude's a carnivore, Travis. I'm almost sure. I'm feeling the vibe that he or she is a carnivore, or they. You never know what Claude is. He's got full clarity. They got full clarity. But I mean, listen, Travis, you've been in the business long enough. You've seen people on the way up and you've seen them on the way down. And the ones that have stayed, the turtle will always beat the hare in every story. And to be honest with you, I've been emphasizing this for the last 2+ years on this podcast is stop looking at the big bulky event deals. Look at the small, the medium deals because time kills deal. Unless you have a full crew that can take that rehab that's potentially 6 to 7 month rehab and cut it down to 3, which we both know is numerically impossible because of just timing, permits, holdups. You know, I'd stay away from that stuff because there's just no profitability in it. None.
yeah. No, I
Well, since we last talked, Travis, money has gone cheaper. But Travis, money's gotten cheaper on the bridge. So right now, construction money is anywhere between 8 and 9.5% interest only, depending on the experience of the borrower, the credit score of the borrower, and the deal itself based on our rehab and purchase. So you're paying very inexpensive money. You're all in no more than 10% on cost. And
that's
so like the money's gotten lesser. Now rates are what they are. So like rates popped up a little bit, about a quarter point this past week, but they didn't pop for at least 2-3 weeks because we didn't get updated numbers till the 4th of June. The last time it moved was May 15th. So it's not like it's moving very quickly, but a quarter point's not a lot. I mean, listen, even this young man said, he goes, Joe, 6.5% for me is cheap money. He goes, it's the structure. So it's not about the rate, it's how you're buying and structuring it on the back end. That's any market.
Or is he buying?
He's buying in Burlington County and Ocean County, New Jersey, which is not exactly the cheapest areas in the area. He's very specific, and he's staying within an hour of where he lives of his office. He might expand a little bit because the inventory is tighter, and I gave him some suggestions on markets where he might want to look at that, maybe an hour and a half away. But it's all about his maintenance group. He's got a full-time maintenance person. So if it goes an hour and a half, that person now is stretching out his time. You know what I mean?
What are those neighborhoods like? Are they upper middle class? Smaller neighborhoods?
C to B.
Okay.
Like there was one market that we discussed where it's actually near a winery on the border of Ocean County, Burlington County. It's a town called New Egypt. It's a cute little town, but it's like it's like set in time in around 1992. You know what I mean? You got some, got some nice properties. You got some older properties, but it's nice. It's stable. Not a big jumps in, it's just a good people when they move there, they rent there, they stay there. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And they don't disrupt the property.
You know,
Cheap is not always good, and the hood is not always good. I tell people all the time. I tell people all the time. There's certain markets I tell people just stay away from because your service providers don't even want to go there during the day.
that's right. Yeah.
You got a better shot of, no way of even getting cops to show up. So what I'm saying is, why would a plumber show up at 9 o'clock at night at the same spot? I mean, so you got to think about where you're buying. I completely agree with you. And I think people get caught up with the shiny object, think they can turn a very bad situation into a better situation. I don't agree with that. Listen, there's a narrative of, bad markets and a narrative of okay markets and great and good markets. And I like to stay in the okay to good markets. I'm not single-handedly changing a market. You know what I mean?
Exactly. One,
Correct.
it's already nice houses. You just find a bad one on the street.
Correct. Thank you, and I hope the Houston market's doing well. Obviously, anybody that's listening in this morning, if you want to really get a handle of the Houston market, I would reach out to Travis Foote. And then if you want to talk about the carnivore ways of being a real estate professional, I'm sure he can give you some insight on that as well.
That's right. How to find good barbecue.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming up here today, Travis. It's been a little minute, and we've cut back on the podcast and strengthened it by going first and third Sundays of the month. So hope to see you hopefully on the third Sunday where we have actually the underwriter and processing department for our company on the call. It's going to be very interesting.
You're with now?
Yeah, this was a unique opportunity that was presented to me when Lenmark shut down. I had to kiss a couple frogs on the way there, but I met these two gentlemen that raised about $3.5 billion in equity and really put together a really strong platform. Yeah, and well, the one gentleman's out of Austin, so and they brought in a very strong back office team that I knew personally, which was quite impressive. And the opportunity here, because it's not a startup, but we're creating everything in the right module way, where we've seen where it's wrong everywhere else when it's built out, because you don't have transactionally experienced individuals building out the back office to interconnect correctly with the front office, which is origination. Because I could originate a good loan, but if the back office sucks and it can't determine the deal quick enough, there's a disconnect, which I think, for somebody that's scaling from 0 to 10 doors, this is completely relevant. They want to know, am I getting maximized loan to cost on the purchase, maximize construction, and then are you going to be able to get me out and get me stabilized? And whether it's single family through 4 family, 5+ units on the DSCR, on the fixed to rent, fixed to flip, and ground up, we're 1 to 4 or 5+ units. So we go up to 5 million on DSCR, 15 million on fixed to rent, fixed to flip, and ground up construction. So we're very aggressive because if we see the exit strategy clearly, we'll bridge that loan because now it's our own warehouse line. We're not going to do unrealistic deals. We're not going to go into other areas that we don't have to go into other areas other than what we're good at. You know what I mean? We picked our lane. We're going to focus on it. We're going to burrow that hole. And the subject matter at hand is relevant to what I'm doing almost on a day-to-day basis. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you think now it's a better experience than where you were?
Night and day. Night and day, Travis.
I'm going to give one of my clients your info again and tell them these platforms and then really.
It's a 90-day environment. It's just I'm able to provide you the software to price your own loans out. There's full transparency, which is unusual in other places where they can't show you that because there's something not where they can't be transparent. And I feel in this market, if you have full transparency, at the end of the day, it's very hard to point fingers. Do you understand?
Yep.
I'm cutting all that out. That's getting out of the way. That's kind of eliminating itself, if that makes any sense. So we lost Travis there for a minute. So thank you for the time. But my final thoughts to our discussion today from 0 to 10 doors. Going from 0 to 10 doors isn't about finding a secret strategy. It's about consistently executing the fundamentals that still work in today's market. The investors that succeed aren't necessarily the ones chasing the hottest trends, the lowest priced properties, or biggest social media promises. They're the ones who buy quality assets in strong markets, focus relentlessly on cash flow, stay offer ready, and think in years instead of months. Long-term investing, disciplined acquisitions, and strategic scaling remain the core drivers of portfolio growth, even as the market cycle changes. At the same time, don't get trapped by the vanity metric at door count. 10 profitable, well-managed doors will outperform 50 underperforming units every time. Cash flow, equity growth, return on investment, and operational efficiency matter more than simply accumulating properties. If there's one lesson that keeps showing up amongst successful investors, it's this: buy right, manage well, and stay in the game long enough for compounding to work its magic. Real estate remains one of the most proven vehicles for building wealth, but the rewards go to those who combine patience with action. The path from 0 to 10 doors isn't a sprint. It's a series of smart decisions repeated consistently. Start where you are, buy the next great deal, and let momentum do the heavy lifting. Your first door changes your finances. Your 10th door changes your future. I want to thank everybody for their time today. Travis, Bob, Felix, Melissa, Linda, Yordell. I mean, this was great, great content brought to the table. We're first and third Sunday morning every month at the Creative Birth Strategies podcast, providing education, networking, and strategy. And my quote this morning: success leaves clues. The people around you influence your mindset, habits, and performance. Stay close to positive, high achieving individuals and intentionally invest in the top 5 people who inspire you to be better. This is Joe Scarice, Nationwide Direct Private Lender, co-founder and co-host of the Creative Birth Strategies podcast. Everybody have a blessed Sunday. We'll see you third Sunday of the month, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. Have a great day and be well, and I'll be ending the room in the next 30 seconds.
Thanks, Joe. Everybody.